In the finale, the final girls meet Richie's mum, who is tough to please. Credit, Channel 1. Remember Richie's mum from last year? She has a lot of opinions and she's not afraid to share them. She's like that great aunt who you only see once a year at the family Christmas, and the only thing she ever says to you is, "I don't like your hair." When Richie was competing for Sam Frost's heart in The Bachelorette last year, she wasn't fooled by Ms. Frost's bubbly personality. 1 year later, Mrs. Strahan is still as sharp as a tack. First up, she meets Alex, who's tasked with telling her she has a son and wants Richie to be the baby daddy. She tries to casually slip it in. "It's really nice working with my family because I'm actually a mum as well," Alex said. "That's interesting," Mrs. Strahan shot back, her eyes darting out from under her blunt fringe. "I got to say, as a mum I never contemplated Richard having interest in someone with a child," she tells us. And yeah, she calls him Richard. Taking Alex away for some private girl time, Mrs. Strahan went all Lee sales. "My question to you is, how in depth have you explained to Richard the responsibility you want him to take on?" she quizzes. "What about the nitty-gritty?" Richard sees life as, "We get up in the morning, we go to work and we have fun." "Have you explained there will be times where Elijah has tantrums?" Alex says some wishy-washy stuff about the vague conversations she's had with Richie, and Kate basically rolls her eyes. "Thought nobody was as scary as Olina's dad. Richie's mum has proved me wrong." #The Bachelorette. Mum's about to spank Richard for being a naughty boy. #The Bachelorette. I'm kinda wishing Kira was in the final two just to meet Richie's mum. #The Bachelorette pic. Twitter.com. Cobden. I think Alex should have chatted with Richard a little bit more in depth. I would have thought a child in the equation is a massive conversation piece. That is all, she tells us, wrapping up her own segment. And Mrs. Strahan kicks it up a notch for Nikki. If you didn't know, Nikki is from Northam, which is an hour away from where Richie and Mrs. Strahan live in Perth. Both Richie and Nikki separately try to explain this fun fact to Mrs. Strahan, and each time, she cuts them off, perturbed that everyone keeps underestimating her knowledge of local geography. The best moment comes out of nowhere after Nikki says she ended her engagement last year to the guy she was with for 12 years. Miss Chill turning into Miss Grill. Mrs. Strahan taunts Nikki in a sing-song voice. Nikki looks perplexed, and we look perplexed. No one actually knows what that statement means. Something about grilling, a confused Nikki questions. We never get an answer, but we prefer it that way. Miss Chill turning into Miss Grill is my new favorite quote of the season. #The Bachelorette. Richie's mum are in #The Bachelorette pic.twitter.com/87VP. In the girl talk, Richard's mum keeps the questions firing. "Is this just a rebound thing?" she asks. "So you're not a basket case?" she jibes. She was this close to saying she didn't like Nikki's hair, but some things are only appropriate at Christmas lunch.